Mr. Bryant, let me be brief about the details of this very unique project that I'm offering you an exclusive first look opportunity at. Let me break it down for you in the most simplest words I can conjure. Basically, I got myself months ago, I get dozens a day of these films, speculative films made by independent filmmakers and TV producers, pilots and such. That are all varieties of independent reality television, so to speak, within that genre. And sitting on my desk, or my assistant's desk, for over 3 months was a tape that was called the Graduation Party Labels. We thought nothing of it, of this material, but to make a long story short, it's simple, sir. We basically, because of the tension that was called upon us through the federal authorities, which I won't get into the details of why, but make a long story short, so we got a story on our hands that is hotter than...
The following audiovisual exhibits are pertaining to a special investigation by the FBI, and according to Scotland Yard, any information regarding these events should be directed towards the New York Field Office of the FBI, Special Agent John Field. Yes, this is Neil Van Alten on Scottsdale reporting for the BBC. It turns out that early preliminary reports have 18 recently graduated students from Chelmsford University found at the site of a graduation party the morning after apparently the revelry began. The 18 bodies were found in an extremely degraded state, beyond recognition, burned beyond recognition. This inferno lasted approximately 3.5 hours before firefighters had it under control. It was a 6-alarm fire, and apparently one of the survivors of the GRAD party, Inferno as it's being called, survived the fire only to have lost his life concurrently by suicide, leaping off of a Manhattan skyscraper in the early morning hours following the soiree. A memorial for the 18 families of the GRAD party, of those lost in the GRAD party, Inferno, has been held. Tonight, NBC premiered the first episode of the series, GRAD Party, which is an edited version of the 9 hours of footage which was acquired during the party. And recent web trends have released the statistics that today on Google, GRAD Party was the top Google search in all worldwide searches. A bit of a twist today in the ongoing saga of the GRAD party. It turns out the dental records of some of the dead individuals have not correlated to their dental records. It's uncertain now what this means. A breaking development in the ongoing GRAD party situation. It turns out the dental records were tampered with. This was the admission of a doctor that was recently charged on an unrelated drug charge. The GRAD party after the final exams, graduation day was held for this small online university called Chomsky University. On day 9 was the graduation party held in the Westchester County of New York State, about 20 minutes outside of the city of Manhattan, or the borough of Manhattan rather. The day after the party, or the morning of, the 6-alarm fire erupted, and it took approximately 3.5 hours to put out the raging inferno. On day 33, FedEx was sent to the Creative Artists Agency, a Hollywood agency, which was sent footage from an anonymous source, apparently, which revealed footage of the last hours of the graduates. On June 3rd, 2012, the night of the party occurred. Following is some footage from the exhibit now to the agent. I believe his name is Bobby. On record here, it seems to be Bobby Lee of the Creative Artists Agency, who apparently has licensed the footage to Comcast, NBC Universal for broadcast. MSNBC is reporting that one of the victims' father is a South Carolina senator, and he has personally asked the FBI to investigate this. It's uncertain whether arson is at play, although the Westchester fire chief has ruled, in fact, that arson is suspected. But it turns out that the father of one of the victims, a South Carolina senator, an incumbent of 33 terms, is ordering an investigation. It's uncertain if it's been a suicide pact, a homicide, or a suicide. The national media here in the United States has actually picked up the story a couple of days after the New York press has covered it extensively. And the funerals today were held on the 7th of June, and a memorial service for all the victims was held, where the president of the university, Abraham Chomsky, the brother of the linguist Noam Chomsky, spoke to the families of the victims, as well as the few surviving members who had left the party early. On July 13, 2012, apparently the FBI commenced an investigation regarding the events surrounding the have focused their efforts on locating the host who had rented the party. On the 17th of August, the filmmaker was identified and interrogated by the FBI, who had sent the package to the Creative Origins Agency. It's unknown and uncertain the motive or the causation of the footage acquisition. On the 29th of July, apparently there was an auction held by Creative Origins Agency for the video rights, the licensing for the national syndication and for the distribution of the admittedly macabre footage of their last hours alive of these young graduates who died only a few hours after the footage was filmed. Apparently CNN's reported that NBC is giving all profits from or proceeds from the advertising and exhibition of the GRAD Party series to the families of victims. There's been a trust fund established for the families of the victims who died in that place. The media frenzy really began sometime about 2 weeks after the initial funerals. New footage has been sent, and apparently in a breaking story, to the Washington, D.C. FBI field office that sheds new light on the origin of the footage sent to the Creative Origins Agency 2 months earlier. On the 21st of August, the TV series trailer was released by NBC, which reveals some of the scenes of the upcoming series. And the truth was leaked today. Inadvertently, intentionally, we are not sure. It is very preliminary, but apparently the shit has hit the flat screen, so to speak. Because at this moment right now, both CAA and Comcast, NBC Universal are in damage control. This is an FBI notice, an intention from Scotland Yard and the Federal Bureau of Investigation.
We basically, because of the tension that was called upon us through the federal authorities, which I won't get into the details of why, but make a long story short, so we got a story on our hands that is hotter than fried chicken in South Carolina in August. It's one of those things that I swear to you, if you really get. Material, but to make a long story short, it's simple, sir. And fried chicken in South Carolina in August.
Yeah, or if you can do both, whatever.
You
know what? Why I'm pissed? I have no bond with nobody at that party. I wanted to share that joy and to have stories, meaningful stories. There's no bond. Thank you, God, for answering my prayers. Yes, I prayed for this. I wanted to be at the fucking top so bad. But I'm at the top. I've reached the top. Yes, I'm at the top. But I didn't want to lose my friends. I didn't want to lose her. It's lonely here. I'm sad. I miss it, God. I missed out. If I can just go back in time, and if I could just do it all over again, and to be with my friends and to feel what they felt. No one knows me anymore. They don't know me. All those years I've missed out in college just chasing this dream. Why?
I just want to go through this one more time, make sure I got it right.
That's understandable, sir.
These little boys and girls
Snot nose, every one of them.
fooled you into thinking they were all dead in a fire. Is that right?
Well, sir, I watched the footage. I saw the obituary. I watched the funeral footage. I bought into it like the rest of America. Yeah, I admit, convicted, guilty.
And in fact, in reality, if you'll pardon the expression, they are all alive.
Every last one of them, sir. Apparently, yeah. Every last one of them. Yeah. It turns out they faked it all. To induce us with fraudulent intent to air and broadcast their part.
That's the word, fraudulence.
Yep.
They made a fool of you, and you made a fool of me. You took me long for the humiliation.
Sir, I did
and
not.
The money.
Well, the money, I do admit, was an incentive, but I did not mean for it to reflect poorly upon you, upon the company and corporation of Comcast or NBC or Universal or any
But it did, boy, it did. It surely did. I am humiliated. I may even be ruined.
Sir, I would like to draw your attention to the silver lining.
You are so lucky. I am not a shooting man.
Except when it's duck season, you're going hunting today. I mean,
Except for ducks.
No one had actually died, even the boy that committed
suicide. Except for the fraud, of course.
Well, certainly he's a fraud, and I'm not saying there ain't any kind of crime.
And the victim.
Throw away the key. I could care less, but as long as I can film him throwing out the key, that's all I care about, so I can get my 10%. Sir, I want you to consider the following. Even the boy that jumped off the building, the black boy, the gentleman, the singer.
Oh, yes.
Even that corpse was fake. They had taken cadavers out of the lockers like slabs of meat from the deli. And they put them in that house out there, and they had that party. They had them literally downstairs in the basement on ice during the party. Then at the end of the party, they positioned them out throughout the house. They put them clothes on them that they're wearing, all those, the girls with those tight little dresses, and those boys with those fancy shirts and suits and those ascots that they were wearing. And they put them on those things so if you found their body and people would assume it was them. It was all a bunch of bullshit. They had thought this thing out for a year going forward. I don't know who the mastermind is, but someone is some evil doctor, evil genius in the group there, because I don't know what. Dang, between homework and getting laid, I don't know how anyone thinks about that at 22 years old. But hey.
Diabolical.
It is
diabolical. That's the only word for it.
It's like Lex Luthor level diabolical. They had filmed themselves not only at the party where they allegedly died,